Today I want to go over the watch that got me into mechanical watches and really started my watch collection journey, and that is the Tudor Pelagos. Now this isn't the original reference that was released back in 2012. I believe this one came out around 2017, so it is a bit long in the tooth, but I love it for a lot of reasons. I'm a sucker for dive watches. My collection, as I've said in a previous video, is very much undiversified. Dive watches make up the vast majority of it, black dive watches at that. But the Tudor Pelagos was my first foray into the mechanical watch game. This Pelagos doesn't get nearly the wrist time that it used to. For a couple years, this was my everyday, you could call it a beater watch, even though I really tried to take the best care I could of it. It's been replaced since about November with the watch that's currently on my wrist, which is the Pelagos FXD All Black. I love this watch for a variety of reasons, but the original Pelagos still gets the wear here and there. My son actually wears it for special occasions. He gets a real kick out of that. But lots of love on this watch, so let's dig right in. So as I said, I'm a dive watch kind of guy. I have the Pelagos, the original version here, the Pelagos FXD All Black, and a Rolex Submariner in black as well. And compared to the Submariner, I would say both the Pelagoses, but the original specifically, they're just more toolish. I mean, they are all tool watches, but the Pelagos exudes working class. It exudes the look that you're actually going to go get some cool stuff done today. Don't get me wrong, I love the Rolex, but the polished stainless steel, the more reflective bezel, it has a decidedly dressier, decidedly fancier look, which I love. It just depends on the mood I'm in. The Pelagos is more of an everyday sort of sleeper watch, and I love that on so many levels. I love the unassuming nature that it has. So this is no small watch. We're talking 42 millimeters across. The bezel overhangs that a little bit, so maybe 42 and a third. About 14 and a half millimeters thick and 50 millimeters lug to lug. So by no means small. I think it's very much in that typical dive watch sort of size, a little bit bigger than the Submariner, but it hasn't bothered me at all. I come from a world of wearing Garmin sports watches. You know, those are 47 millimeters, 50 millimeters, they're big watches. I'm used to it, and I'm a small guy. I'm 5'6", 6.5 inch wrists, so if I can wear it, I think anybody can. It's really just a matter of personal preference. Just getting on to materials here. The Pelagos entire lineup is titanium. It results in a very light watch compared to its stainless steel competitors. I also love the matte sort of gunmetal look that titanium has. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The bracelet on the Pelagos is gorgeous. It's this 3-link oyster style. This bracelet does not have the faux rivets that some of the other Tudor bracelets have. Those don't bother me, but it's a much cleaner look. Titanium, you know, as I guess a downside, scratches quite easy compared to stainless steel. I'm pretty sure this is fairly easy to polish, but I don't mind. This watch it's a tool watch for me. It's an everyday watch. The scratches it accumulates over time just add to the character. I don't mind at all. That being said, the clasp on this has gotten pretty beat up. I work primarily on a MacBook Pro, so that's an aluminum body laptop. And this watch has accumulated quite a few scars. A commenter in one of my other videos called them desk diving scars. It's pretty funny, it's very true. Again, I don't mind, I don't need this clasp to look perfect, but that's something to keep in mind. You know, if you're gonna be doing work like that, maybe put it on a NATO strap or the rubber strap that it comes with. But speaking of this clasp, it is fantastic. I wish more watches came on a clasp like this. Rolex, take note. But this T-Fit clasp from Tudor allows for a tremendous degree of expansion and adjustability throughout the day. So on those hot days, as your wrist starts to swell in the afternoon and your watch gets tight, you can just let this out a little bit, and it makes for a very comfortable wearing experience. I've really enjoyed wearing it. That being said, having my FXD that I have on either a cloth or NATO strap, I've really learned to love these softer straps as well, just so I don't have to worry about what I'm putting my wrist down on if I'm going to scratch up a clasp or my laptop or anything else I might be working on for the day. So the bezel on the Pelagos is a matte ceramic bezel inlaid in the titanium. It has 60-minute graduated marks there with individual marks up until the 15-minute interval. Very similar to the Submariner. The Pelagos FXD has those indices all the way around. But the motion on the bezel, the sound, the tactile response is amazing. The entire Pelagos line, it's got to be the similar bezel, but they are fantastic. I can find myself in church or in meetings or pretty much whenever I'm not supposed to be playing with this bezel and getting funny looks from people. But if you listen to it there, it's a great sound. The lume on the Pelagos is amazing. When the lights go out, this thing is beautiful. Lasts for a long time. It's well lit. This Pelagos has white indices and hands. The Pelagos left-hand edition, the LHD, has more of a patinaed look. It's a yellowed look. I really like it, but there's something about the contrast that the white on the matte black dial just provide instant legibility, which in a dive watch and a tool watch is something I'm looking for. I want to be able to quickly glance down at my wrist, tell the time, and move on. I don't want to have to fight my eyes, especially as I get older and things aren't as clear. I mean, I'm not that old yet, but it's coming. One knock that this Pelagos has had in other reviews, and I'd have to agree, is the 5 lines of text at the bottom. It's a lot to put on there. I get why they want to. I'd be proud of those specs too. Aesthetically, it doesn't bother me a ton, but it is a lot of text at the bottom when you're used to maybe 3 lines on a Submariner or even the FXD with its 4 lines, but they break it up with some red text. This is all white. Still okay balance. You've got the date window at 3 o'clock, easy to read. This is a domed sapphire crystal on the Pelagos, extremely durable. It does not have the Cyclops window like a Submariner or the other Rolexes do with dates. Going back to that 500 meters of water resistance, that's tremendous overkill for me. I don't need that. To achieve that, Tudor has to put in a helium escape valve, which is something Rolex came up with in the 60s. Tudor has incorporated that same sort of technology, so it lets that helium out at depth, which prevents the watch from incurring any damage. That all adds to cost. It's a cool feature. I've never bragged to somebody that my watch has a helium escape valve. I don't need it, but the price of this watch certainly reflects all of the technology and design that has to go in to achieve waterproofness at this level. It's about $5,000 at retail compared to I think $4,000 on the other Tudor lines. So you're paying for some of that extra capability. So quickly talking about that crystal again, it's domed sapphire, really durable. With that being said, I cracked this thing about 8 months into ownership. I banged it on a back of a metal chair without much force. At least I didn't think so. Maybe all those workouts have been paying off. But I looked down and my heart sunk when I saw the crack and in the top third of the glass. I'll try to get that on some B-roll so you can see it. Nothing major. It's just a superficial sort of scratch. I don't believe it compromises the waterproofness of this watch at all. I probably wouldn't take it much past 10 or 20 feet at this point. I called the AD. It's an easy fix. They can order the part in from Tudor and they do it on site. Just takes a few weeks. It's a few $100s. For me, I'm going to leave it. Again, it's one of those things that adds character. It makes me not afraid to wear it and wear it hard. But just keep that in mind. I had a commenter on another video that was in disbelief that I cracked an Apple Watch face because it was sapphire crystal. I mean, sapphire crystal is hard, but it's not indestructible. If you're wearing these and you're moving your arms like I do a lot, I mean, maybe I'm more careless than the average person, but at 14.5, 15 millimeters, it sticks up. It's going to bang on things. You can't be afraid to wear it. It's not a museum piece for me, so no big deal. That crack's going to stay there. Now, maybe I should have started with this, but one of the reasons I love Tudor so much is its storied history with the United States military, specifically the Navy SEAL teams. I love how understated the watches are. Some of them, the Black Bay 58's a little more dressy, but these Pelagoses, they epitomize the tool watch. They are timeless in their design. I think we're going to look back in 20 and 30 years and these are going to be classics. Again, I didn't buy it for an investment piece. I don't save it for that. My kids will get this when I'm gone and it's probably going to be beat to absolute hell. And the last reason I love Tudor so much is just its understated fly under the radar appeal. I have people ask me if that's a Rolex. I say no, it's a Tudor. If they're interested in learning, I'll tell them, the differences between the two and the similarities. Otherwise, that's sort of the end of the conversation, and that's fine with me. I'm not a flashy person. And I think that this watch blends the precision, the quality, and the aesthetic that a Rolex Submariner would in a package that just attracts much less attention, so much more my style. So going back to the specs on the Tudor Pelagos, it has an in-house MT 5612 movement. It's cost certified with about 70 hours of power reserve in just everyday wear for me. You know, over the weekends, taking it off sometimes, I can verify that it's pretty darn close to that. So those are my thoughts on the Tudor Pelagos. I love this watch. It started it all for me. Really got me interested in the science and manufacturing behind mechanical watches, the absolute precision and engineering that goes into making something this accurate without a computer, without some sort of chip in here. I think it represents tremendous value for money, and I absolutely love the look of it. If this original version isn't your particular cup of tea, they have a ton of other models in the line now since I purchased this, including the all-black FXD that I have on my wrist now. But you've got the blue Marine Nationale and the Pelagos 39, which I haven't seen in person, but looks from pictures and specs to be a wonderful, smaller option, and something maybe I'll pick up in the future. So for now, this is going to stay in my collection. I don't see myself ever selling it. It'll be a beater watch for me, something that gets passed down to the kids eventually. So take care. Have a good day.